Hand clap to the master, guys. We are finally back again for the second reaction of this year. Today, Mystelics reactions, guys. Big up all the Mystelics YouTube family. You are definitely tuning into the second one. And of course, guys, don't forget to check out the previous one. The first one I did, I will be in the link in the first comment in the comment box below, guys. And of course, big up all the Mystelics YouTube family. And of course, the newcomers out there, big up on yourself for definitely tuning into this year reaction video, guys. I'm running through this thing because I actually had to do a different video from this one, guys. Completely different from this one, pretty much leading up to the situation that we are in. But of course, I had this one right there just waiting. Say, Mystelics, look me now. When you putting me out there now, well, look me now, guys. I definitely have to put it out there for you guys as well. Definitely, guys, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Give the video a thumbs up. Click the thumbs up button, guys. And of course, definitely subscribe and turn on that post notification by clicking the bell, guys. After you click subscribe and then you click the bell, and then you'll just click all right there. Just click all and you get notified when I drop my videos right there. And then, guys, of course, the link to the app will be at the end of this here video, so don't forget to check that out as well, guys. Let me just make sure my volumes and everything are up in this one. Hopefully you can just run through this thing, man. Run through, guys. But I must make mention of this particular thing that I pretty much posted before. There's a different type of thing when it comes down to this thing. There's one for education, and of course this one is pretty much a very interesting one right there. It's important that we are mindful who we consider our leaders to be, because the leaders that themselves might very well be our enemy. And I think I'll post this one tomorrow, considering the video that I actually have to do today. It seems like it's much relevant to this very thing right there. The forest was shrinking. Dominica is shrinking, guys, but the trees kept voting for the axe. They keep voting for the shoe. For the axe was clever enough to convince them, the trees, who is them, that because his handle was made of wood, he was definitely one of them right there, guys. Be mindful of who your friends are. Even though they might claim to be, hey, look me, we together, we birds of a feather. No, guys, be mindful who your people are. Because sometimes the very people themselves are working for somebody else. The axe, although it has a wood, it killed... a tree had to die. I have to be mindful what I said on YouTube. A tree had to die so that it could be the handle of the axe, guys. And of course, the axe is what is cutting down the trees, and they kept voting for it. It's very interesting what is taking place, guys. Be careful of those who lie.
Lying will ruin your life.
True that.
Because I want to see that marina in Portsmouth, ladies and gentlemen.
Prime Minister, did you see the marina in Portsmouth? Did you do anything in that regard to at least you know, foster some sort of move, bringing the marina forward in Portsmouth? I mean, you said this right there.
Because I want to see that marina in Portsmouth, ladies and gentlemen.
How else will you see it if you don't initiate it to go forward? I mean, was that happening? No. You literally changing the candidate of Portsmouth. 3 years later. In 2020 he says, so 2 years later, guys.
And that marina will start being built in
2020.
2020, the year of our Lord.
We're going into 2023.
The Portsmouth people and for Dominica.
Lying will ruin your life.
It will. You see, lying is not a good thing, guys. Lying is not a good thing. Stop lying. I don't know why people like to lie like this.
So, look it. Look at proof. Now they come and tell you about Scary City House, the government house. Every one of these houses that we are building under the CBA program belong to the state.
So it's interesting that he's saying this on the radio, but yet still he's coming towards the people.
Now they come and tell you about Scary City House, the government house.
But that's what you said. I mean, if it's not what you said, then why did you say this?
Every one of these houses that we are building under the CBA program belong to the state. 100%. So
they don't belong to people. This is probably why people haven't gotten titles for the property. And it's another thing if you get a residential title, which means you have the title to live there, doesn't mean you have the title to own anything. So people are living in houses thinking that they own these houses, and they don't really own the houses. You have a title? Do you have a title? We're talking about land title, house title, not a residential title, guys. So it's important what the Prime Minister is saying and versus what he's saying on the radio. You can't say contradicting himself. He say you own it. He say it's yours because you live there. But do you own it? There's a difference between saying something is yours and something that you own. It is yours at that particular time. But do you own it?
It's a state asset. The house, that house is your house.
Your house. Because you stay in there, it's your house until they take it from you, then it's not yours again.
And they tell you scared, saying, well, the house that we gave you in BrBpTV is government house. And when you look at the way that we have managed the affairs of Dominica up till today,
it's very bad. It's very bad. Thank God for the help that Dominica received, as well as the CBI funds coming in to help. Yes, true, no doubt about it. Let's be real and 100% about it. But when it comes down to the economy of Dominica, come on, you be tripping.
it speaks volumes to the responsible approach that we have taken. And with all of these things, Maria, and I'll stick to Maria and Erica alone, we never ask anybody for debt forgiveness. We never ask anybody for debt forgiveness.
So guys, if you can come and just lie to the people like this, and let me continue.
And we never ask any country for debt payments deferrals.
6 years earlier,
we have started to discuss with those whom we owe. I have in fact gone further as Minister of Finance and written to some of our partners and multilateral organizations, institutions, on the issue of debt forgiveness or the restructuring, or in some cases deferring.
You see, one thing, the reason why I let that play like this, guys, because I was listening to the exact wording. He said debt forgiveness. He didn't do it, but he's saying it right there. He asked for debt forgiveness. He wrote to a number of countries for debt forgiveness. And then he's talking about debt deferrals. That is exactly the two words that he said that did not happen. Well, they apparently happened. So if somebody's constantly lying to you in front of your face and they think you forget, it does a record of you saying that they don't think so. And therefore they can come and say things once again to lie to the people consistently and consecutively.
The commencement or suspending the payments of the interest and penalties for a period of time.
Debt deferrals, that's what they call that, sir. Debt deferrals. You literally said it in your actual words. Debt deferrals.
Allow us to recover. One case in point is the Commonwealth that has suspended our payments.
I remember Venezuela gave the $100 million. Remember, the very prime minister was saying that Dominica doesn't owe Venezuela anything. Then after Erica, I believe it is, Venezuela give Dominica debt forgiveness of $100 million. I mean, how do you say to the people, how do you come to the people saying we don't owe Venezuela anything, yet still Venezuela giving us debt forgiveness? I don't get it.
In light of the storm and deferred our payments for 2015, 2016, and a number of other organizations have done that, in recognition of the fact that Dominica is under critical financial strain.
But this Skerrit have amnesia. He has amnesia or something, because I mean this is literally going against exactly what he said. Let's go back and listen to it.
It speaks volumes to the responsible. And with all of these things, Maria, and I'll stick to Maria and Erica alone, we never ask anybody for debt forgiveness. Restructuring, or in some cases deferring the commencement or suspending the payments of.
This is why it's good to have records of these things, They must have deleted it from their channels. I've heard that they deleted certain things from their stuff after they come out and say it. But they don't realize people are actually picking up their stuff when they say it. So if people have to go back and say, but this is what you said. This is what you said. And they did, why? Tell you, boy.
And would require all the help it can get, as small as that help might be. Whether it's $1,000 from a school in Barbados, to $50 million from a country. Debt forgiveness is an important element.
3 years earlier,
Venezuela's Foreign Minister Jorge Arias told the UN CARICOM meeting that his government had decided to write off Dominica's entire debt to Petrocaribe, which stands
look at that I just say a while ago, Venezuela
at over $100 million.
We never ask anybody for debt forgiveness. We never ask anybody for debt forgiveness. And we never ask any country for debt payments deferrals.
God have mercy upon us.
Guys, if somebody literally come in and lie, they're holding the person at ammunition point. They don't do nothing like this. The person just come in and just lie for what? For what reason you coming to lie? Getting debt forgiveness, thank God we get some debt forgiveness. Thank God you get debt deferrals. Okay, they don't put in no interest on it. They'll continue. We can continue where we left off next year. Debt deferrals. Nobody have you at ammunition point. Nothing like that. You just come in and lie to the people, and I expect the people to believe you. I mean, how much times do we the people? Come on, people. Those of all you go in them rallies, I understand some of all you go in because all you check in, all you trying to see what cool all you can get. I understand that. If you check out the previous video, you will understand that sentiment right there. It's clear that people are not there to see the policies of the Prime Minister or the policies of whatever DLP stand for. It's clear that people are not there for these things. People are clear. People are there to see, hey, look me there. I want a cool out. I want my cool out. Come and give him my cool out. They're not here about the policies. Which policy is that? What policies they talking about even now? What policies? From the little things I hear is they keep trying to go behind Lennox and they talking about UWP not joining. Even though UWP say they're not joining all you in elections. They say they're not participating. All you still talking about them. So where does the lie stop? Where does the blatant line stop? Look at this one now. Take a listen to this.
Connect the dots.
Connect the dots, people.
Connect the dots. On May 24th, 2018, Mia Mottley became Prime Minister. She was sworn in as Prime Minister on the 25th of May. While on the weekend of Saturday 26th and 27th, Roosevelt Skerritt was in Barbados to congratulate Miss Mott.
Guys, I was just interrupted there. I have to go back a little bit. Let's continue.
Roosevelt Skerritt was in Barbados to congratulate Miss Motley. Dominicans,
connect the dots.
The dots.
I am Marcus, candidate for the Cottage constituency, and I am here to let you know that the loss of Ross have been a hard blow to Dominica. Dominicans, it is time to stand up.
Today, Dominica is broken. After 40 years of having the investment by Ross University, a Skerritt-led government could not save Dominica and keep Ross. Portsmouth is now a ghost town.
The disrespect that they received from the very Prime Minister. The disrespect. I mean, they even come out, the CEO of Adetalem or whatever they call it, that the head of Ross, came and said they finally find a competent government that they can work with. That means before the government that was working before wasn't competent at all. She literally came and said, we finally have found a competent government in which we can work with and move forward. I mean, that says a lot, doesn't it? About the previous government that they were working with, doesn't it? True? No, maybe. Okay, well, let's continue.
Representatives of Atalum Global Education arrived to have discussions on the relocation of Ross.
We made our first visit to Barbados to explore new locations on May 31st.
3 months later, a deal is sealed. Dominicans, connect the dots.
Ross University has announced its departure from the island. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt made the
my video they use. My video. Or you asked me to use my video?
Announcement Friday morning.
We made the point to them that the 40 years of association is not 40 days.
While Skerritt was giving away our only fruit, Dominicans were suffering.
That if there is to be a parting of ways, there should be at least be a sharing of the fruit of those 40 years.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the economic activity that we expect Ross to spin as a result of their presence here is likely to be in the vicinity of over $100 million.
100 million per year. That is what we lost.
And we believe that this is the kind of partnership that we in Barbados want to bring.
Ending 40 years of commerce and opportunities for our people.
Look at how this place have been dilapidated. Look at your environment.
By the way, that is the simulation department I'm talking about there. Going upstairs, there are people upstairs and they kind of renovated the bottom down there.
The place is run down. You have rat infestation.
Over there is the exam center.
In Picard, brothers and sisters. Picard was a bustling, thriving community. Ross have been gone and we have lost everything.
Guys, you remember all the Haitians they would bring in after that? Remember all the Haitians that they were bringing in? And the Haitians themselves, when they stay in Dominica too long, they realize Dominica not the place for them. To the point where the French government would tell in Dominica, that they fed up. Haitians entering back door too much, they checking out what they need to stop that, or they're cutting ties with Dominica or something to that effect they were saying. And then as a result they started going further up. Boat were capsizing, they catch them by Montserrat, all kind of things. St. Martin, they were having issues, brethren. They were having issues because they realized how difficult Dominica is, because they were painting Dominica as Little Miami. That is the words that the Haitians were telling me. They were promoting Dominica as Little Miami in Haiti. And then when the Haitians came, they had to pay $400 to spend what, 2 or 3 days in Dominica. If they paid $400 US, then if they leave after 2 days to go back to Haiti, then they will get back their $400. But they know that wasn't the case. So they started pocketing the money. The Haitian cells were coming in and they weren't coming to think. They know they were going to stay more than 2 or 3 days. They knew this.
Why did Ross have to leave Dominica? Skerrit must answer the charge.
He won't. Because you know why?
The loss of Ross has meant prosperity for Barbados.
And there is one man who remains a landlord to this date.
Remember I was telling you guys earlier on in the previous video where Skerrit was saying he was trying to leave the housing for the landlords, the local people. Who's the number one landlord in Barbados now, guys?
And will remain a landlord as long as Ross remains in Barbados. And that is not you. The one man knows himself. He is the only man that stands to gain from the loss of Ross.
That man is Roosevelt Skerrit, who is the largest landlord of student accommodation at Coverley.
So from my understanding, what they were trying to build in Dominica, the 400 new apartments for first semesters, they say. First semesters, the 400 houses that they were going to build, of 400 apartments that they were going to build for them. I heard that was the same type of contractor that built the houses in Barbados. And that was under the government of Dominica. Interesting, ain't it?
Skerrit took Ross from us. That's why we must vote the United Workers' Party.
Well, they know, eh? They know. But that's to tell you something, guys. These are some of my videos. Hey, I was all over the place, man. I don't think that one is mine, but I was all over the place. I saw somebody there. I want to tell you, be careful with a certain one named Francis. Be careful. Be careful with that certain one. And with all I said right there, guys, I'll leave that right there. But it's interesting the things that are being stated when it comes down to Skerrit. Lying is a hell of a thing. You know that, guys. Be sure your sins will find you out. And you lying for lying's sake. What else you wouldn't lie about for? When you're not being held at in trouble and you're just lying for the people. I mean, and then people want to come back and see all you voting for what? Well, I understand it's very clear that some of you, all you are just there to see if you can get a little cool out. I know this. I know the lady that was crying the other day, she probably doing the same thing too. They get her blowing her horn for her to get a cool out. She hot, she burning, she fed up, she want to cool out, man. She want to cool down. But we don't realize what we do in our own selves. When we think of ourselves, guys, we have to think collectively, you know. If we think collectively, we see what can we do, what can be done in Portsmouth, what can be done in Collier, what can be done in Kulibi Street, in St. Joseph, what can be done to at least differentiate amongst, you know, let's say Grand Bay have the factories, Portsmouth have the tourism sector, I guess. So we have the beaches and stuff, we elevate the beaches. Mero have something similar to that of Portsmouth. They have the restaurants and the beaches and everything like that. We have the apartments, people can come and chill and relax and what have you. You know, see what we can work with and then try to promote that and see if we can elevate in that standing. What needs to be done, put the monies in the right places. You know, do these things to help Dominica, but no. Doing this will of course create independent people who making their money and not be dependent on the government. And of course, if the people are not dependent on the government, that means the people will rise up anytime the government is deciding to do foolishness. However, if you create a dependency state, what is going to happen? The people themselves will bow to you because they are dependent on you for their even basic needs, man. I mean, it's not a difficult thing to understand. But no, instead of that being happening, and guys, don't get me wrong, I don't care if Scared built 5 billion mansions if he wanted to, but he was actually doing right by the people, I wouldn't care. But it's very clear that the people are suffering. It's very clear, man jumping up just to get cool out. Because they know they cannot make it on their own. They have to give their little ones away. Their offsprings have to give their little ones away to ministers. I remember when Lennox was making a statement like this, where the little ones, well, young ladies are giving themselves in exchange for favors. And then we talk about the different things that are happening in Dominica. Even Kenisha went missing. And the incompetence of the police, we want to forget that. I mean, when you line in the head, and the police is also there, and they come in and lie to the people too. I mean, how much lie do we have to take before we stop it? How much lie do we have to take before we realize, guys, we are being duped consistently? On a continual basis, we are being duped over and over, and we don't realize that. I mean, sometimes you have to wake up a little, Wake up a little and realize what is happening to us. But some of us, well, I keep saying wake up. It's not like we're not awake. We have to change our dirty ways now. That is what that need to happen. Change your dirty, everlasting ways. But anyways, guys, if all I said right there, let me know your thoughts in this regard. Don't forget to check out the previous reaction I did. That'll be in the first comment in the comment box below, guys. It's rather unfortunate what is taking place in Dominica, but I definitely want to do that video that I wanted to do previously, guys, which led up to the whole situation. I want to get the videos and everything, put this thing together for you guys, and organize that so people who are a bit slower in their understanding will see for themselves. It's not just me making up things and saying things. This is actual facts out there. What is happening in Dominica is not a nice thing, and people seeing that. I mean, people agreeing with me. Back in the day, people wasn't agreeing with me, They wasn't agreeing with me. They seen it now. They seen for themselves, but because there are some sort of family member benefiting, they will stay quiet, or they themselves benefiting, they will stay quiet because they do not want to lose the very thing that is benefiting them. But they realize that if we are benefiting collectively, everybody elevating, that's where spending power start increasing. When spending power start increasing, that will of course want to bring people in to also participate in the spending power, which will of course create new ideas, new opportunities, and of course the availability factor of spending power will give rise to what? Entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship will create jobs for people, just decreasing the unemployment rate in Dominica, not relying on NEP. I mean, if you want to really partake and see how things function, look at St. Kitts. If you want to really see how things work, the government doesn't get involved in certain things that they not to get involved in. But apparently in Dominica, the government want to get involved in everything. They want to get involved in every single thing. Yeah, you think government can just come in natural disasters thing? They have their own team. Government can't come and say what they want. No, government have to come out there. They have to come out there, let the people run. They're seen the natural disasters, the experts of the place will run it. What government doing expert in natural disaster? What is that? What government doing in medical thing? Let the medical people handle their stuff. Government are no dealing in that. That's how St. Kitts run their thing, and this is why St. Kitts is doing really, really well. Really, really well. So, opportunities galore. I mean, we saw St. Kitts GDP. I mean, not GDP, we saw the unemployment rate. I even shocked. 4.5%, not even high compared to what I see. I say the 4.5% must be people that just decide, hey, I want to relax myself. I want to relax my bones, man. I want to chill. Or maybe they're talking about the unemployment rate of the elderly folk. The people who have adult age, maybe, I don't know, I think there's an age range that they would not consider unemployed, but within that certain age range, 4.5%, that in St. Kitts to me is a lot, because the opportunities I see in there is kind of crazy. Crazy, and they literally, well, I can't say certain things because some of the other Dominicans don't want me to say something. Anyways, guys, if what I said right there, give this video a thumbs up if you understand it. If you want to see more, definitely subscribe and turn on that post notification so you can get more videos as they come through. And I'll see you guys in the next reaction video, guys. Tune in tomorrow for another vibes right there, another reaction. I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, guys. I would appreciate that right there, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Boom bam.